Okay, so I was at the pool with my kids, and when it was time to leave, and they want to change into their dry clothes, my older son asked me to make him a tent. You know, we kind of would take a big towel and wrap it around him like a big tent. So I'm holding his big tent around him, and while I'm holding his big tent, my little guy, who's probably 4 at the time, didn't have a lot of patience, and he wanted to be his turn. And as I'm holding the tent for my older son, you know, the shorts get stuck on him, and he can't get it off, and he's struggling trying to get his suit off, and my little guy's going, "It's my turn, Mommy, it's my turn to change, I want to change." And I'm like, "Just be patient, Clark, be patient, Max is changing," you know, and I can't hold this hand and then hold his tent as well. I couldn't do 2 at a time. And I was getting so frustrated, and I actually had a really bad migraine headache that day, and I was just, so his temper tantrum just was rubbing me the wrong way. I was like, oh my gosh, Calgon, take me away, you know? So trying to get him to be changed, and then put the thing around, and then get the towel around my little guy to change him. And as I got the towel around my little guy, I kind of look around the pool, and I see another mom go the towel around her kid, and I see another kid just running naked, and then I realized, gosh, there really should be something that we could put over your kids to change, and they should just be able to put it on themselves, you know, and why can't you just put something over them? So I think, well, put something over them, and they could throw something over themselves. I started thinking of ideas with straps or different things. No, I don't like that, And I thought, I'm just going to sleep on it. 4 in the morning, I shot up out of bed. And I've said this over and over again, I really truly don't believe it came from me. It came through me, this idea. It just is a gift, I know it. And I said to myself, if I take a towel and I put a slit in it, you could just wear it like a poncho. And then I go, oh my gosh, it's so simple. Is it stupid? Is it brilliant or stupid? Is a towel with a hole in it stupid, or is it brilliant? Like, no, I think it's brilliant. And then I start spinning on, well, someone has to be doing it. This is too simple, and someone has to be making a towel with a slit in it. So I jump out of bed and I run to Google, and no one is doing a simple towel with a slit in it. So I made my first prototype right on the spot. I went from Google immediately into my sewing room. I cut a hole in the towel. I finished it up. I couldn't wait for my kids to wake up. They got up, and I just threw it on my older son. I said, change your clothes. Mom, what are you doing? I said, just change your clothes. And he changed, and I went, oh my gosh. We wore it to the pool that day, and I had about 5 people come up and go, what are your kids wearing, and where did you get that?
Oh my gosh.
And I just knew in that moment it was special, and it was a gift. And my heart told me, you follow this in faith, it will take you wherever you want to go. And I was so excited about it that right away, as I'm just on my biggest high, so excited and thrilled about it, you know, I call it the party crasher, started talking, and this is I call the party crasher, you know, your voice of your mind. And my mind starts saying, come on, Shelly, let's get real, because you have no money, you have no connections, you have no idea what you're doing. This is a towel with a hole in it. I mean, you need to get a real job and get a life. And I kind of took that in, I heard it, but I just said to myself, no, I don't receive it. You know, because when I get quiet, I hear within, that might be true, but the voice that I hear says, you dream it, and you believe it, and you give me the how. You let it go, don't worry about the how. Too many people get stuck on the how. How, it's going to be too hard, how, I don't see a way. You don't have to know the how, and you're not supposed to find the way. You just have to dream it and believe it. And not just believe it a little bit. There's a whole different type of belief that's involved here. It's called absolute belief. When you wrap yourself around it with 100% love and belief. And if you have that kind of belief about what you're doing, and you surrender it in faith, the how will appear. It will just show up. I just put one foot in front of the next. I had no idea how to do this. I just put one foot in front of the next. And my aunt is very talented as a seamstress, and so she kind of helped me come up with a pattern for it. We worked on that. The day I went to go shopping and looking for a towel, I found the perfect towel, but the day I go shopping for it, it's on sale. You know, I'm someone who doesn't have any resources, but the day I went looking for it, it's on sale. And the day I went to go get thread and all the materials I need, I get a 50% off coupon in my mailbox from Joann's. All those type of things to me, I don't see as a coincidence. I know it's happening, and I'm just being handed every single step of the way. I have a neighbor who lives a couple houses down who owns an advertising agency who charges thousands and thousands of dollars for logos. And I have him over for dinner one night. I said, hey, Todd, what do you think about doing a logo? Would you help me with a logo for ShowNo? No problem, Shelly, of course. And, you know, like I said, he charges thousands of dollars, but he likes my macaroni and cheese. I'm hearing just because it doesn't look like you think it. It was supposed to. Doesn't mean it's wrong, Shelly. Say thank you. Say thank you. I was so upset. This just doesn't look anything like I thought. And my husband came and he knew I was upset. And he said, do you want to talk about it? I said, it was like the elephant in the room. Neither of us had talked about it all day. And I said, listen, I am upset. And I said, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my timer on my phone for 5 minutes. And I'm going to let myself be sad for 5 minutes. And when it goes off, I'm going to say thank you and I'm going to let this go. And I set my timer. And I went into my bedroom, I closed the door, and I cried. And I was upset, and I cried for 5 minutes. The timer went off. And I just said, thank you. I don't know what this is supposed to mean. But what I know is that yesterday, nobody knew what the ShowNo Towel was. And today, millions of people saw it on the Today Show. And it doesn't look anything like I thought it would. But I know in the space of gratitude, I keep myself open to anything possible. And when I reject it, I close myself off. So in that space, I say thank you. And I'm going to allow what's meant to happen to happen. And the very next day, my phone rang. And it was the director of the largest water park corporation in the country contacting me, who would not even remotely take my call weeks before. And they said, we saw your article in the Register, and we hear you were on the Today Show. We'd like to talk to you about setting you up as a vendor. And then I went, oh, maybe that's how it's supposed to look. And then 5 days later, I get a message through Facebook from one of my good friends. Her name's Debbie, and she said, have you ever heard of that show Shark Tank? And I said, yes, I've heard of it. And I'm told at least once a week that I need to be on it, and I have no interest. And she said, oh, Shelly, she said, you're not going to believe it, but I shared your Today Show link on my wall, and I happen to have a friend in my network who's a casting director for the show. And she saw it, and she thinks you should come audition. There's an open audition next week in LA. And I just said, oh, come on. That show gives me anxiety. I cannot see myself doing anything like that. And we laughed about it. And she said, well, call me back later. We'll talk about it. So I got off the phone with her, and I thought, oh, for 1 year, all I have heard is Shark Tank. Everywhere I go, anytime I show my product to someone, oh, this is perfect for Shark Tank. You should be on Shark Tank. And what I know, and I've learned on my journey, is that when something keeps calling to you and calling to you and calling to you, you have to listen. And so I said yes, and I went, and I was almost cast on the spot, you know. So I really credit the Today Show and all that with getting on Shark Tank. So the ShowNo really is just starting. One super exciting thing, one of the biggest dreams I had for ShowNo is coming to be, and it honestly brings tears to my eyes to even think about how awesome it is. But I signed a licensing contract about 2 weeks ago, and I'm licensed. I licensed my patent and my design to a company called Franco Manufacturing. They're the largest manufacturers of towels in the country. And they are going to license my towel and put characters on it like SpongeBob and Dora and Batman and this and that. And we're going to be selling them in Target and Walmart and Bed Bath & Beyond, all the big stores, big box stores across the country and in Canada. So it's just so exciting, such a huge dream come true. And I don't have to make them anymore. So I have really high hopes, and I dream really big. So I think they're going to be good.
He's very in your face.
In your face.
I think that's what makes it.
So great. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, come on in. Now, I'm going to test the level first, just say the good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you got plenty to
I got
spare. Good. All right, let me check the shoulders are good. The necklaces are perfect. Okay. Okay, just for lighting. So she's body language. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Look at this. Hang on, let me get
So
it.
good.